Don't ever go with the flow. Be the flow. And I don't need no middleman to talk but to my nigga. I understand if you don't understand. That's where we differ.
Yeah. Welcome to the WDEP13 podcast, episode number 13 of the WDEP13 podcast. I'm your host, Shells456, alongside my beautiful, lovely, and amazing co-host, E. E, how are you feeling today?
Beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. Maintaining. Had a bit of a lazy day today. No gym, no nothing. Just got up and
Horrible.
yeah, you know.
Back at it tomorrow, though.
Yeah, back at it tomorrow. Gotta. So you need those days to decompress and shit like that.
I agree, but just had the weekend.
Yeah. Even though I didn't decompress, like my shit was just like hectic. All right. So this episode is getting out late because the computer is a brand new computer, but the motherfucker, like the software started acting funny. So I had to take it to the Mac shop. I just got it back yesterday. So like we running a little bit behind.
Right.
Yeah, but we back and we added. Tomorrow is actually the anniversary, 1 year anniversary of Kobe Bryant's passing.
Yes.
You got anything you want to say about Kobe? I know you was a big like Kobe fan. Wasn't you a big Kobe fan? You're more of a Kobe fan than a Michael fan, right?
I mean, no. I mean, yeah, because that was my era. Like I grew up. I've never watched I never watched a Jordan game at all. But Kobe, like it was like I'm a Bron fan, but Kobe, like I always knew he was good, but it was like.
So what point did you did you start like fucking with basketball, watching basketball? Like was Kobe on his way out?
No.
Oh, he still was the shit.
I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So I was 12.
Okay.
So 15 years ago.
Oh, so Kobe was out here.
Yeah.
Oh, you bugging for thinking for not being
No. So what I was gonna say was I was always a Bryant fan, but like it was I hate him. He's so good. But he's going against Bryant. So it was like that.
Yeah.
So when he died, I was hurt or whatever because like I grew up watching him.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into this episode is sponsored by the WDEP13 shop. We have hoodies and t-shirts and all that good stuff. Y'all can tap in and purchase products and all that. I mean, but just to get back into the Kobe shit, like I have a few Kobe Bryant.
You swear.
A few Kobe Bryant stories. All right, I'll start with the first one. I don't know what year. Matter of fact, I do know what year it was. I didn't know Kobe was famous. I really didn't know who Kobe Bryant was, right? So he went to Lloyd Murray High School. I'm from Philly, so that's like where he played ball and where I'm from is like right there.
It's across the street.
It's not across the street, but yeah. So this had to be 96. I only knew Kobe because he took Brandy to the prom. So it was like this big thing. Everybody in the hood like, yo, that nigga Kobe Bryant, he just took Brandy to the prom. Brandy was popping, you know what I mean? So like, who the fuck is this nigga? I mean, so I was at my cousin's house. My cousin used to play ball. And he was nice. He might have been in middle school because I know Kobe got him he might have been early high school. So Kobe calls the crib. You feel me? Like she get mad every time I tell this story because he's a hater. So Kobe called the crib. I'm at my cousin's crib. I answer the phone. You know what I mean? So I'm like, he like, yeah, it's I ain't gonna say my cousin's name. He say, so is such and such around? I'm like, who this? He say, Kobe Bryant. So I'm like, man, whatever, you know what I mean? So I run get my cousin. I'm like, yo, Kobe on the phone. So cousin come in the room, and my cousin is this get on the phone, he talking, and I guess Kobe like, yeah, it's Kobe. So my cousin is like, man, fuck out of here and start talking greasy to Kobe, like this, talking greasy, bang on him. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that? He like, man, that wasn't no goddamn Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean? So the next day, my aunt hit my mom up. I left. My aunt hit my mom up like, yeah, such and such coach called and Kobe Bryant called them yesterday and he hung up on Kobe and all this other stuff because Kobe wanted him to go to the summer camp. So that, blowing opportunity. But that was one of my stories that I got to chop it up with the homeboy Kobe.
Now you had a whole conversation.
I mean, we was chopping it up. It is what it is. Don't hate. And the second joint, we was at Larry's. So I walk in and I wasn't really paying attention, but I saw a tall nigga like, just off in the corner talking to one of the employees. So I get in there, I order my joint. No, when I get to the front of the line, he tapped me. And he like, yo, what you want? What you want? And I look up, I'm like, oh shit, it's Kobe. This is like 01. This is when it was either 01 or 04. Whenever the fucking All-Star game was in Philly. I forgot what year that was. It might have been 01 or 04. So he tapped me like, yeah, what you want? I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. Like this, he's a superstar. So I wasn't Joe, but I'm like, damn, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, so he like, matter of fact, yo, everybody, because there's people outside the door. He's like, everybody. He's like, yo, come in. Everybody out here. I mean, I'm paying for everybody's food that's in there. You know what I mean, just close the door behind the last person. And he bought everybody food, and that shit was just love. You know what I mean? And those are just the memories that I have of Kobe, like this stand up dude. And just to rewind back, when he passed, that shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was just like, it felt like we lost somebody that was so close to us, especially being from Philly and knowing, like Kobe ties to the city, and then there's knowing guys that everybody that I've been around, a lot of people that I've been around play ball and they older than me, so they around Kobe age, so they personally know Kobe Bryant. I mean, so just like that shit was just like a crazy tragedy. I mean,
yeah, it was very gloomy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I remember the fucking sky was gray for like 5 days.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
That shit was just so bad. And then it set off the whole 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the first one that hit, and it just set off the whole 2020. Everything was downhill.
That is true.
Yeah, so
that is very true.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to the GOAT, man. Prayers out to his wife, his family, and all the fans that been affected by Kobe death. That it's still a struggle. It's still like, what the fuck, Kobe not here? I mean,
for sure.
It's still that type of thing. I mean, so
it is. It's gonna be like that for a minute, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What else did I want to talk about before we got to these topics? It was something else that I forgot. All right, let's get into the topics. What are we talking about today?
Shoot.
Did I ask you how you doing? I always ask and I always forget. All right.
You
so
what
you got written down over there?
You asked me and I said beautiful. So technology and medicine.
Okay, so today's topics is about technology, and let me preface it. I
can preface it if you want me to.
Go ahead.
Be easier.
Yes.
So the other day I'm sitting here and I think Rob was probably on his phone, right? Shells was in here on his phone. And I think he's always on his phone. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, yo, technology has fucked up humanity. They doomed us. And this is honestly what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, I wonder if the creators of Facebook, and I automatically thought of Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm like, I wonder if he intended for this shit to be like this.
Yeah.
I wonder if they intended for this stuff to happen or whatever. So I recently got a chance to catch up with one of my friends, and I haven't spoken to him in like mad long, probably like over a year and a half. And when I tell you, like, we was talking about everything in detail, and we talked about technology, and I had a dope conversation with him. And I'm like, I called Shells right up. I'm like, yo, I really wish I can like record certain conversations, because that's how we started this initially. Like, we used to always have dope ass conversations, and then we was like, yo, we gotta like start whatever. So I was like, I started talking about some of the things that I talked about with my friend to Shells here, and technology was one of them. But we were on total opposing ends of like how we felt about everything.
Yeah. My take. Well, as far as technology, I just think it pushes things forward. I was also having a conversation with my young boys the other night, And it wasn't even because of our conversation. The shit just came up in random conversation. And we were just like, yo, what would people do if this shit just went away? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would people conversate? I don't even think like
How they did before.
How would guys get girls?
How they did before.
But how would they know how to do that? It's a new era. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So let me take it back to my day. Okay. So we used to have to, before technology and Instagram and all that stuff, we used to have to go to the gas station, fill up our car, get an ink pen, and travel around the city looking for girls. And girls used to actively come outside.
We've talked about this before.
And she don't believe me. Girls used to come outside. They used to get dressed.
He said they used to walk in the middle of the street.
And they used to, hold on, wait. Girls used to come outside. They used to get dressed in the house, come outside and just walk to random places. Just walk around the neighborhood and waiting for guys to come through with the nice cars or whatever car and crack on them.
I do want to say that's your perspective, that women were going out to get hit on.
100% my perspective. It was that, or another thing, like as far as communication, was like high school.
Or parties. Or like get-togethers.
Parties, but it wasn't so mixy because it was no way to get the word out. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was word of mouth. You call somebody on the phone and say, we having a party, but you couldn't post it nowhere. It was hard to get shit out. So neighborhoods stayed with neighborhoods. It wasn't mixy. Everything is mixy now because of the internet. So it was just like, you either had to drive around, go on route, what we used to call it, gas up your car, go find girls that way. You used to go down north, go up the northeast. Everybody know uptown had the certain type of girls. So you go uptown and you find girls. You know what I'm saying? You see them, you beep your horn, you hop out the car, you get their number, you get on a piece of paper. I'm gonna hit you up later. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no DMs. You couldn't slide in DMs. It wasn't none of that shit. That shit is weird to me now. And the other thing was like high school. You know, we was young then, so pull up to the high school. When the girls come out, you know, you crack on the girls that way. But it wasn't this. So I don't know if the younger generation would even understand how to operate without the internet.
Okay. So you give anybody anything and then take it away. Of course, you're going to have that adjustment. It's going to have those issues. Mm-hmm. So, of course, if these kids today and like even, I want to say the generation below me.
The generation below you.
And like even like the kids today.
See, but you're in the internet era. You're 100% in the internet era.
I am.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like all right, so when I was in middle school, like I remember AOL and that dial-in shit. I vaguely remember it, but it was something I can't tell you what it was, but I vaguely remember like the calling shit. Yeah. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, because that shit wasn't really internet wasn't really at scale then. That was just like something that like white people, like in my eyes.
Oh, so I was privileged.
Yeah, we didn't we had to get the shit coming in the mail, like the AOL joints, and we just throw them to the we didn't have a computer, so we didn't know what the fuck that shit was. It was just online America. Like it was just a new thing. We thought it was like a fad. We're gonna be here and it's gonna be gone.
Okay. So all right, so I was privileged, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I remember that vaguely, but middle school was MySpace. Yes, popped off in MySpace. Mm-hmm. So I always did have technologies. I always like 6th grade came Sidekicks, and before that was Virgin Mobile. So like I always did have technology, and then the booth phones came or whatever. And then you had your MySpace, like I said, and Facebook or whatever, so far and so far.
Okay, so how can you say that technology ruins something when you don't even know anything before technology?
I do though, because like I said, like I was in middle school, like
but
so
middle school
prior
is like
to
that's like.
I mean, but also I don't engage. Like I didn't like engage heavily.
You just have a dislike for it.
No, I didn't. I never truly engaged in it. So like even, and I don't know why. Because like all my friends had MySpace and was like heavy. It just didn't intrigue me. I think people, the technology and social media, I think it intrigues people. Like I don't care. Like I don't.
You You know what? You remind me of like the age group ahead of me.
Okay.
They're like, they kind of just don't like really fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'm in a special position, and a lot of my friends don't really engage in the internet neither because they just, I don't know. I guess maybe it's mindset, but I see the opportunity in it because like when I was coming up, it was like, okay, so I think I play in a gray area where I seen and I know what it's like without the internet. Like I know what it's like to have to just do things from the muscle, get everything from the mud. Like you want a record deal, you gotta drive the Def Jam, you gotta stand outside the building and wait for Jay-Z. All now with the internet, I see that, you can just push a button and your song goes to millions of people. You can just do this, you can do this. Like everything that this is all because of the internet. You know
I
what
want
I'm
to
saying?
be clear about something. When I say that, when I speak bad about the internet and technology, I'm not talking about anything that you can do to benefit yourself. So all of those, how it makes life easier, I'm not referring to that. I'm solely talking about the lack of interaction that people have nowadays. I'm talking about people hiding behind the internet. I'm talking about people like the weird shit that goes on in the internet. I'm talking about that. So like the things you can pull off, I know there's a great amount of things that you can accomplish with the internet. I'm not.
Do you think the good outweigh the bad?
That's a good question. So all right. Now
That's insane to me.
No.
It's
Listen, hold
insane
on.
to me that you got to think
That's
about
a good question, but I'm thinking about like humanity. And I think when you question like the path that humanity is taking, I'm gonna say no.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's just okay.
It's like, all right, how many people, you got a group of people, and I think this is very disturbing. It disturbs me. A group of people, everybody's on their phone. I think that's very disturbing because, like, what type of interaction? You got families, like broken families because of technology. You have people who are not like, people who are in a room full of people and they still feel so alone because of technology. You got people, like, it's like, and this is causing like depression and all like mental illnesses is at an all-time high right now. Like, and I'm going to say the cause of that is technology. You're going to disagree, but that's fine.
I'm just saying, because on the flip side of that, you could say that like interaction is even more. Because if I'm in a room with 4 of my friends and we all looking at our phones and we all like, yo, look at this guy from Europe. Look what he doing. And my other homie like, oh, look at this. You interacting. Like, that's interaction. It's still interaction. You're just able to see different things throughout the world.
But more than likely, you're talking about like cases, like rare cases. A lot of time you hear people say all the time, you're in a room full of people, but everybody's lonely. Everybody's on their phone. That's very relevant.
Yeah, I do. As far as that, I do feel what you're saying, because I do feel like the younger kids and the younger generation, they lack a certain amount of communication skills, like eye contact, handshake. Like, it's just, they're off a little bit.
And not only that, but I think about how the kids, they don't go outside and play no more. These kids, like, it's different. And I feel bad for them, because what type of kids, like, don't go outside and play? Like, do you know what obesity is going to be looking like? Like, come on, like, all around.
I mean,
this technology is,
I don't know.
And you have to it can be used as an advantage. It 100% can. But you have to find ways to use it as an advantage, because if you just let technology take over, it's not going to benefit the human race.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. My biggest argument for people that have your perspective is like, it's not gonna go backwards.
No, absolutely not.
This shit is going to go, like, the internet is just like, the internet is like a speck. This shit is about to go to, in 10 years, 20 years, we're going to be like engulfed in VR and walking through our living rooms like this, and experiencing theme parks from our couch, and experiencing Eagles games as fans on our couch. We just pay for a ticket, tap our VR shit, and they'll sit us in the front row. And we might have sensations of coldness and all that shit. Like, this shit is about to get wicked. So I think it benefits us to take advantage now, so you can just be ahead of the bubble. And like, is this an opportunity to get rich? I like things like B put me onto the stock market, right? When I was younger, I used to be fascinated by the stock market. I just thought it was a white people thing, you know what I'm saying? And with now that shit is here, like I can open Robinhood and I can check my fucking stocks.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would have never, and I would have never joined the stock market if I had to call some white man and say, look, buy this, boom, boom. If I gotta be in it like that, I would have never had done that. I would have never picked up a camera, shot a video, podcasting. Never, you know what I'm saying? So I would like to say that the internet is 100% a tool.
Okay. I agree with everything you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
As far as what we can do with the internet, with technology, I think it's up to the individual and like the parents to guide that, because you can your child can have all this accessibility to technology and internet and come out really you can screw your child up if you don't manage it appropriately.
That's for anything.
Yes. Technology included.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's for anything.
Exactly. Technology included though.
100%.
So as a parent, I'm more scared for like the younger children or whatever who don't have that other side without the internet, who don't know how to maneuver without the internet. So if you manage it appropriately, I think that's good. 2 more points I want to make. One of the topics, one of the ideas that my friend and I were talking about was that these people who created these programs, these people are not, I don't think they're regular people. You ever watch like a Mark Zuckerberg, you watch a what's the other guy?
Is Mark Elon Musk,
Not
you talking about people that created
Microsoft.
Bill Gates.
I ever watched an interview with these people, like that, I feel like they're so disconnected from your average person here, and like just to use an average person here in America, they're disconnected. So I think they put programs and things in place to and they're like, I think their vision, I don't think is for people. I don't think it's for people. They put these things in place, but I think it's more for like a computer. So like they can build the shit out of a computer. They can build these programs and say, "Oh, this would be great." But do they even take advantage of it? Because these people are like personality wise and like how they engage, they're like quite underdeveloped. And I think that they don't interact how other people interact. How they say, oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Them motherfuckers be in their crib, not engaging with anyone. They don't engage with the motherfuckers in their house. Like, for watch these interviews. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about is like the capacity, the accessibility that you spoke about. I don't think that the capacity that technology and internet is being used today, I don't think it should have been accessible as easily as it is. I don't think it should be as widespread so quickly. Yes. Okay. No, because everybody they don't know what to do with it.
Yo, motherfuckers know what to do with it.
No, and I'm not talking about the people who do. I'm talking about the people who don't. Who are like All
right, your first point. We, as far as like Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and stuff like that, I think people like that they're not normal people. They're not regular people. I think they're innovative. They're innovators. You know what I'm saying? No different than an Einstein that push our culture forward. We need people like that to break the system and push forward, thinking forward. You know what I'm saying? I think they think 10 years in advance. So I think if Bill Gates makes something, he's not like, oh, look, he could do this, he could do this, he could do this. I think he's just like, oh, that was 10 years ago. That was that idea from 10 years back, and now I'm back on the next thing. These people are planning to go to fucking Mars. You know what I'm saying?
Not for the people, like the average people who are receiving these products and using this internet. I don't think it's made for them. I mean, it could be myself included.
Yeah, so
I'm not excluding myself.
Saying like this computer is not made for us. Like what exactly what you mean?
I mean, someone who suffers from depression, who has mental illness, I don't think they should have the accessibility to a social media site where they're going to be bullied, where they're going to be to have access to all these different pages where they see, oh, this person is doing this and this person is doing this.
Okay, so I mean, so that's like saying you don't think people that with depression should go to school. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just at scale. It's a wider thing.
Exactly. So I'm talking about the capacity.
Yeah, but when you look at it like that, the internet is like we view the internet like it's TV. So when people get on the internet, they're not their self. So if you got depression, you can be somebody else, and you can pull yourself out of that depression by pretending to be that whoever you pretending to be on the internet.
I don't think that's good either.
It's not. It's 100% not good. But I don't think you could say, oh, somebody that have depression or mental illness shouldn't be on the internet that's like
no.
Or it's not good for them because that's like that's like saying somebody like that shouldn't go to school.
I'm telling you how it could be bad. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be because they can also find groups that
exactly everything's more accessible. So is this like it's almost like you thinking in the wrong direction.
Pessimistically?
You thinking pessimistically where you could be optimistic like, oh, damn, all these anti-depression groups on Facebook, on Instagram, you can find your tribe.
Well, people, the issue here is people. And I said initially that they create these programs and they expect people to run like a computer. But no, people are still people and they make mistakes. So that's why, all right, sure, you can use this for this good and this great. And you can create this and people can connect this way. But no, people are hateful. People spew hate towards each other. People are bullying children. Children are committing suicide due to what the fuck they see on social media. And it's because of people.
I get that, but people commit suicide because their girlfriend dumped them in real life. Like people with mental problems just do push things to the limit sometimes, and it's sad. But I don't think you can blame. You probably could blame the internet for certain cases, but you could also blame the guy that jumped off a building for his girl. You can blame his girlfriend. You can't blame somebody's girlfriend for leaving him, right?
No.
So how can you blame the internet or a phone?
Because it's a computer.
So what?
And we're running like people.
All right. So let me. All right. So my side of the thing is you acting like this is a tool. This is not a real thing.
If you use it as a tool, yes.
Yes. And if somebody say something bad to you, you can turn this motherfucker off.
But how many people are addicted to it?
It don't
matter. How many people can't turn it off? And that's what I'm saying.
The fact is, you can turn it off. That's the fact.
No.
You can't. Who's at fault?
No.
Who's at fault if you don't erase the app?
No.
Who fault is that?
No. How? All right. You remember last year? Was it? How hard was it when you went off the grid? How hard was it for you?
Extremely hard.
Okay, and then you went back. I think you wanted to do like a month. You re-downloaded the app, got your page back, and all that shit before the month was up. Probably like twice. But my point is, people can't do it.
People can do it. 1, 2. I can't stay off the internet for a long time. You know I can't because it's like.
But I'm saying you're not the only one. This is a common thing.
It is, but you can't. I don't think you can blame. You can't blame it. This thing is here for connectivity. When the TV came out, they said it's going to ruin society.
And some people believe it did. Some people, but all right, now the children aren't engaging in the communities, and obesity is rising and still fucking rising.
And they've been saying that for the longest.
And it happened though. These are not things that it that didn't take place.
Wipe out half of the world. Y'all acting like
all right,
these
you're
things
being extra.
No, because
you're being extra.
Because when people talk about these things, this happened before. The telephone, when the telegram, we gonna lose connectivity. My horse can't drive 2 miles and bring you your letter. You gonna call me on the phone. That's weird. This is gonna ruin us. The TV. This is gonna ruin us. Oh, we don't want the TV.
First of all, I don't even know if what you're saying actually even happened because you were a baby when TV. No. The horse, the phone.
100%. Us as humans, we get afraid when things disrupt like our regular scheduled program.
Absolutely.
So all these things came and they're the devil. You know what I'm saying? Even music. Like even like music and shit. Like to your point, like about kids not going outside. You know what I'm saying? Like when hip hop came, it was this is everything is bad. Like so, I think today's parents need to understand.
That's a bad example.
It is, and I don't want to dive into that. But today's parents need to realize like this is what it is. You can censor your kids. You can put things on your phone so you
and guide it.
And guide it.
Yes.
These are things that are there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not so bad that you let them grow up the way they're going to grow up, because if you take your kids away from what everybody else is doing, they're going to be behind.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to let them find their niche, just like your parents allowed you to find your niche.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents didn't want you doing half the bullshit you was doing when you was young. I mean, so like, yeah, I just don't think the internet is killing anybody, and I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Okay. I don't think it's killing anyone either. I believe it is a great tool. It just needs to be used as such, a tool.
And
not life.
As far as you talking down on the people that I fuck with the most, like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, like these is my guys. You know what I'm saying? And I just think they're trying to push society forward. I think we don't know. We need people like that.
I think that all right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I think we need people like that. And I think in the grand scheme of things, what we're going to see in the future is technology overthrowing the government. That's why the government is trying so hard to stop like anything Facebook do. You know what I'm saying? Mark Zuckerberg do, he's in court. Anything Bill Gates do, he's in court. Elon Musk, they're in court. Like they can see that these guys can outthink them and these guys can build worlds around their government, and the government is going to suffer. And I don't think that's such a bad thing.
Okay. I don't believe that those people are bad people at all.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
I think Elon Musk could be a bit of an evil genius.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I believe they're evil geniuses, 100%. But I believe, just like you said, technology is going to progress the human race. I think that that's the wrong way to go about it. I think that you have to take the psychology or sociology route versus technology. And I think that's the disconnect for me, because I heavily lean towards like the way someone thinks. And I think that they miss that aspect because you don't know how this affects a person. And that's
a good, okay, that's good. All right, so let's talk about like consciousness and being like one with.
Are you sure you want to talk about that right now?
Yeah, because I mean it could disrupt.
You're just making a point. You don't want to talk about it, right? I'm saying
technology could disrupt connectivity to like whatever you believe in.
Right,
connectivity to the, like if you believe in a universe, or you know what I'm saying, like
the reason why I asked you that was because like I know we want to make that a whole like episode. That's why.
I just want to touch on that because that got a lot to do with like I be seeing, I be watching crazy shit, and I just see how these people are trying to take your consciousness and all right, I want to be super, 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 super rich. And one of the reasons I want to be super, super, super rich because I got a feeling that it's an outside shot. That's when I'm 60, they're going to be able to take my consciousness out of my body, throw my body away, and put me in a fucking robot, and I live forever. I think that's going to happen in my lifetime.
Do you think that your soul is attached to your consciousness?
Do I think your soul is attached to your consciousness? I think your consciousness is your soul.
So you think they're synonymous? Okay.
Yeah, I think your consciousness is your soul. Like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's 100%. That's what I believe. But yeah, I think shit like that gonna happen. And if shit like that happen, that's like, I mean,
I believe that's gonna happen.
It's a deep, deep game, and I hope it happen in my lifetime. And I know that I got that bag gotta be up. That bag gotta be up. So yeah,
I believe it's gonna happen. They're making moves about it. Anything they put in that TV, it's gonna come into fruition. Because listen, there's been so many things that's been on exposed in TV, and it was like 20 years later, like, oh, I seen this in the movie. So of course, like, and then all the people, like all the rich people, I can't say rich, all the really wealthy people are aware about what's going to happen. Things is going to take place. Yeah. So I believe that's going to happen, but I don't know if yours. That's another time we'll talk about it. But yeah, I digress about all of this.
All right, I think I want to like exit out of this episode. Do you want to
the whole episode?
We had 36.
Oh.
Let's talk about it. All right, come on. Let's get into it.
No, come on. No.
No, let's get into it.
All right. So, another topic we wanted to discuss was medicine, modern day medicine. How we felt about it. Right. Vaccinations, and people. I'm sure a lot of people are scared to get this COVID vaccination. And tell me how you feel about it.
I 100% believe in vaccinations. I think people should get the COVID shot. My dad called me about like 3 weeks ago, and I got nervous when he told me that he signed up to do it. But I just think, like, what's the alternative? Is what, catching COVID and having a chance of dying?
You can get the vaccination and still die.
Says who?
That's a fact. It's happened.
So you trying to tell me telling me that somebody got the vaccination, the full vaccine? No, because you can't just come on these microphones and just say things. So you telling me that somebody got the full vaccination, somebody got the one shot, and then like whatever 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, got the other shot, and then waited a month. We haven't even had that much time.
Do you know what a vaccination is? Do you know that just because you got a vaccination, you're not 100%?
100%.
Okay.
But it's 95%. This vaccination is 95%.
Okay, so like I said, you could get it.
Okay, but you said somebody. You said
somebody. No, that
died.
did happen. It happened.
It did happen.
I read an article, and I fact checked that shit.
We need facts. I don't even think the vaccination been out that long.
All right, well, go ahead, talk, and I'll bring up my sources.
Yeah. But anyway, vaccinations like flu shots and all that shit. I think, I think it's needed in society. I think sometimes we get spooked out. We think the government is trying to and I understand that shit, and I don't have no issue with people that's conspiracy theorists and shit like that. I do, as Black people, understand wholeheartedly.
You have to.
Like, I know the Tuskegee Airmen, all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Them testing us and shooting us up with things and saying it was a vaccine. I believe that's a big part of our stigma of like, no, y'all tripping. I think that's the biggest part from people like us, Black people, from taking vaccines. I think it's more of a stigma in Black people than white people. But I do believe if you get the flu vaccine, you probably won't get the flu that year.
Okay. So vaccinations. I haven't been vaccinated in I don't know how long. I've never gotten the flu ever.
Okay. Knock on wood.
I've never gotten the flu.
Yeah.
So, people who praise the vaccines, like I understand, I get it, But I take the holistic homeopathic route. Me personally.
Yeah.
And I believe anything that you feed your body, like you can cure. And maybe not every instance, but medicine can't cure every instance. I recently went to the doctor maybe 2 months ago, and like I don't get sick. I don't really get sick. I might come down with a cold, but I don't take cough medicine. Like I cure myself. But the doctor was like, he asked me about the COVID vaccination, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna take it. And he got upset. What? Mind you, this is the first time I even met this man. He was upset with me, and I sat there, held my head. I said, no. Like, what's up? It was like, so you mean to tell me if it's going to save your life? I'm trying to, and I was just like, I still
Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit.
I think he was Indian. I don't know, I'm wilding, but I stood my ground, and he was very offended.
Yeah,
and I don't get, because like this is my choice at the end of the day, and if the majority of people are receiving vaccinations, you guys are protected. If you get vaccinated, you're protected. Why worry about me? You guys could get me sick. So I don't think that's an issue that people should be pressing. I think it's an issue. One of the biggest issues I have with vaccination is that people believe that you have to do them. Like I have an issue. I don't know. I probably started talking about this a few years ago. I don't have children, but I always like talk about this. Like my children aren't getting vaccinated. And my mom was like, they have to. I'm like, they don't. And she was like, don't you want them to go to school? I don't know if I do, but like, I mean, because, homeschool or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't have to get them vaccinated. And she was like, Erin, you have to. I'm like, wow, here she is, 50-something years old, and she doesn't know that you don't have to get your children vaccinated. And then you people in the hospital, they're like, oh, I work in the hospital, I gotta get vaccinated. I'm sure there's way around that too. And if you don't believe in that shit, there's way to counteract these vaccines. Like, I just don't believe in it, because it's like, who are you? What are they pushing it for? If majority of people are getting these vaccinations, and you have one person not getting it, you got casualties and everything. Let me die. If it's my choice.
Yeah, I mean, I can dig it. Like
I'm not with this
I feel like
modern day medicine.
I feel like I'm a healthy adult, and I think that will make me kick the can down the road and not get it no time soon. But ultimately, I'm gonna get it.
What?
The COVID vaccine.
Okay, I just don't understand it. Like my sister, prime example, like she got the chicken pox vaccination. She fucking got chicken pox twice after it. Like it just doesn't guarantee anything. And honestly, in the morning I have my routine.
They got a chicken pox vaccination?
Whatever yeah.
I thought that was smallpox.
And then they have, I come in here, I do my ginger tea and my lemon, and I take my supplements, and I'm cool. Oh, nothing.
Right. Now that's one thing. Just remember your point. That's one thing that I do agree with. Like, I believe if you take your right things, you put the right things in your body will treat you right. I believe that if you catch something, you can heal it through natural remedies and stuff like that. 100%. But if you catch HIV, you should take your HIV medicine.
I haven't done the research, so I'm not going to negate it.
I think it's places where you kind of got it. You can mess with this, but you probably should take your medicine. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's a lot of cases like that. I do. Terminal cancer, like I think if you deep in cancer, you probably should get chemo. You know what I'm saying? Like if God forbid, if something happened to me and I get something like that and it's in the early stages, yeah, I'm gonna try my best to meditate, clear my head, and do all the holistic shit I can do. But if that don't work, I'm not gonna say, oh no, I'm not going to hospital. No, yeah, it's time for me to go to hospital now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe in not going to the hospital because all right, I went to same day I had a doctor's appointment. I also went to the gynecologist, and the gynecologist was like, "Do you want to get on birth control?" Every time you go, you like, why? First of all, I'm 27 years old. I tell you I'm in a relationship. Like, you don't even ask me, do you want to have children? That's not what she asks. It's always, we have this birth control. What form of birth control do you want to get on? I'm not putting anything foreign in my body anymore. I'm not. Like, why would I even use that? You want me to take this pill that stops me from getting the period? Why would I not want to have my menstrual? I mean, I'm sure there's some women out there who want to do that, but that's, as a woman, I think all women should want to have their menstrual. All right, that. I mean,
it's why, but yeah,
because it's naturally.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's very strange that these doctors act in that manner. And like at the end of the day, they're drug dealers to me. They're fucking drug dealers. All the prescriptions, they have refills on. There's no cure for what they're giving you. Yeah. Versus if I'm gonna take this something in my house. Oh, yeast infection. They prescribe shit for yeast infections, and all you gotta do is stick a garlic clove up your vagina. Excuse me if I'm being explicit, but like you stick and it's you won't have a yeast infection. You know what I mean? So like, unless you have a chronic yeast infection, or maybe you should go to the doctor. But in that case, you waited too long. Yeah. But pay attention to your body or whatever, and you can use these holistic and homeopathic remedies. You can. I
think a lot of time the information is not out there, and this is big business. You know what I'm saying? We're overthrown by the government, and this is just big business. Pharma is the biggest fucking business out there I can imagine. So it's we live in America. You know what I'm saying? But this is not Africa or third world country where traditions still take over. We have no tradition. You know what I'm saying? This is a gumbo of people thrown in a pot and told, look, this is how we operate. You know, you get medicine, you pay for medicine, we got insurance. You know, it's a big system. So the holistic idea is a threat to their money. So it's never going to be widespread. It's never going to be pushed nationwide. So,
but do you know what a holistic yourself. Like what it is? Like it's for your mind, spirit, your whole body, like everything.
100%.
I think that can. I mean, so you can make money off that too. Like it doesn't.
No. Because I mean, then you'll be changing
acupuncture.
You'll be changing the culture. Like these ideas and these remedies come from like people culture. You know what I'm saying? So that's the fabric of our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And they get other type of people to like, okay, yeah, that shit is voodoo to other people. You know what I'm saying? So I think the holistic idea is more of a cultural thing. Even acupuncture, that's a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? Like all that type stuff is just like
well, we see what the American way gets you, don't we?
I don't think that I don't think that's culture though. That's just business.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's just, all right. So when you mention information and how it's not provided to us, I think that's the person's fault. I'm gonna blame that on the individual because we have Google. It's accessible to us.
But before that, I think people are brainwashed. Before you even get to like, you got to know what you're looking for. People are brainwashed before they even get to.
And I get that too, but I don't really. If you're not questioning anything that's placed in front of you, like if somebody gives me a piece of something to sign, a lot of people will just sign it. I'm going to read it, but I'm going to question why that person is just signing that. If somebody gives you, the doctor comes in. My cousin was having a baby and a doctor kept going, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm like, yo, what's that for? I'm currently asking these questions. And my cousin's like, yo, shut up. What the fuck do you mean? Shut up. Like people like the doctors can just give you something. That's an issue. And I'm going to challenge anybody who just lets anybody just give them anything, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your health, not the doctor. I'm like, when I come home from the doctor, like I might spend 15 minutes in the doctor's office. So anything I put into my body and what I do, I'm responsible for that. You can't, you know what I mean? Yeah. So this information is at our hands. Like it's very accessible. Like access the internet.
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
And I want to tell you about you remember we watched that documentary probably like, I don't know, it was a minute ago. But it was about America and other countries and the longevity, like, of life, how long people live.
Okay.
You remember?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
And America's it was like 60 something. I forget what it was.
The age?
Yeah.
Between it might be like 60 to 70 or some shit like that.
It was lower than 70, but it was so much lower than other countries that it was countries who did these 3 things that sustained life. They were vegetarians. They exercised at least, I think it was like 4 or 5 times. They exercised. And they drank a glass of red wine daily.
Wasn't they like more family orientated too? Like,
I don't remember that. I just remember those things because I'm like, yo, we good.
Yeah. Facts.
But like, if you telling me like that right there, like the what you put in your body, it's just clear.
Yeah,
like
this shit is all culture. This shit is all big business. Even these but you know, I think America got a thing with population control. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's
conspiracy theory.
No, that's not conspiracy theories at all. Like if you look at the food that's pumped in certain neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the liquor store, the McDonald's, all in our neighborhoods. But when we go outside our neighborhoods, you see all the little sweet greens and all the healthy shit. You know what I'm saying? 100% they're trying to kill us off. So, yeah, I think I think America controlled the problem of overpopulation.
I'm sorry?
I think America,
they've done it.
They found the problem. Yes, they actively found the solution for overpopulation. I think so.
Okay. Well, you brought up a point about like people in the hood. Like, yo, I go to the food store in the hood, like they don't be having no fruit. It'd be like asking like, what's an asparagus? I mean, that's a vegetable. What's asparagus? Like certain shit, like they don't even have or whatever, and that's crazy. I mean, that's another. We're gonna talk about that another time, but that's a point. Great point.
Facts. All right, we got anything else to touch on this topic?
No.
You got any other more points? All right.
We could go on this forever. You know how I feel about this.
We got a subtopic out of that for the next episode.
For sure.
Yeah, so all right. We're going to head out. This is the We Differ podcast. And once again, I'll probably do this every episode, man. We appreciate y'all for listening. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Thanks for tapping in with us. And what is this, episode number 13?
13.
All right,
Tracer.
And we out.
Peace.